Hello, this is the CRT man here. Uh, okay, it's been about, I'd say maybe about almost 3 years since I've made a Lego computer video, but I kind of just felt like doing it. By the way, I'm using my cell phone's camera, which is why the microphone sounds crappy, but the video looks okay. Anyway, so for those of you who don't know about this, I started out making this as like a little mini Pong machine back in like 2011 before I started my account. And that's where these came from. These were the cartridges. And then I made it into a computer around like early 2012, I believe. And then I added a monitor in like mid 12. And then eventually I showcased it on my channel around like July 2012. And then so on and so forth, just started posting a whole bunch of updates. But then by pretty much like January 2014, I just got tired of it and just kind of just stopped. And really, I wasn't even doing anything else with it after about mid 2014. So yeah, so pretty much it's been sitting for a long time. I busted this thing out about last year, I think like July 2015 for like a job interview video, but that was it. Other than that, I haven't done anything with it since about early 2014 or mid 2014, and that's kind of a shame because like right after I did that last updates video in January, I think it was like the updates for January 17th, 2014, and I uploaded that. I'm looking at my computer right now. I uploaded that on August 9th. So yeah. It's been August 9th, 2014. So yeah, it's been a long time. It's December 22nd, I believe, 2016. I filmed that stuff when I was 16 years old, and now I'm 19, and next year I'll be 20. So that shows you how long it's been. What else shows you how long it's been is all this dust. I had this thing stored in a cardboard box for the longest time, and just never did anything with it. In fact, this used to be like my main Lego model, but now I kind of replaced that with a Lego bus model, but I'll get to that later. So yeah, for some of you who've been watching my videos for the past 4 years, you'll pretty much know what this is. I still have a floppy disk in there. But yeah, this used to be one of the main showcases of my channel, is a video game controller. Kind of almost takes me back seeing this all put together. Some stuff had fallen off, sitting in the box, moving around the box. Look at that dust. That is some hardcore dust. I like the dust though, because it shows that I've abandoned it for like 2 years. And it's true, sometimes you just get tired of stuff. But I'm going to show you around. This is going to be an interesting video. And it's going to be the updates pretty much for February 2014 in December 2016. So first off, the keyboard has not changed. Oh, by the way, if you want to see where I left off, check out the Lego Computer Updates December 29, 2013 to January 17, 2014 video, which I uploaded on August 9, 2014. So yeah, the keyboard has not changed pretty much in, I don't even know, maybe since like 2012. This hasn't changed since probably 2013. This gun hasn't changed. The game controller gun hasn't changed. Oh boy, that is dusty. Since, like I said, 2014 or... I don't even remember. I used to be really good with memorizing the stuff I did on this, but it's been so long that I can't even remember now. The speaker, I think this used to have 2 knobs because... I don't know why I took it off. Here's the other speaker. Here's the mouse, which this has not changed since like the early days. The last time I recall changing this was before I even started my channel in 2012. It used to be a little smaller brown one. It's got the little 2 buttons and a little scroller. This was like a little joke, like mini CRT, but I don't know. I always included it with this. And like I said, these cartridges are the actual original ones I built. Of course, they're missing parts, but I didn't want to put any replacement parts. This is all like the ruins of the original stuff. Like this one used to have like a handle, like you would grab. Same with this one. Yeah, this was the only one I really found that was in complete shape, and then this one is missing the top label. But yeah, I like that. I found these in my Lego junk box a couple years ago and was astounded that they still existed. But yeah, there's the original Lego floppy disk. I have the other one in there. So yeah, that's like the exterior stuff. The Lego CRT television slash monitor, like I said, it's not changed either. It's just collected dust. Lots and lots and lots of dust. I like this stuff. It's kind of like unboxing memories. But yeah, it still has the same old knobs. I'll show you the insides too, just like I used to do. Let me show you the back. That hasn't changed. Antenna's a little crooked. I'm gonna have to fix that. Just that dust though. Yeah. There's the video input, and that's over here. You can see that. So there's the plugs. There's the input plug. I kept everything. I might have abandoned it, but I didn't scrap anything really. So that's good. Because if I did, then that would be quite a shame after all these years. I mean, it's been 5 years since the original quote-unquote Pong machine project that you guys... I did a video about the history on this thing, but I don't remember which one it was. So, yeah, let me show you the main changes. Let me get this thing out the way. So here's a floppy disk. Oh, actually, yeah, let me eject that. So here's the floppy disk. I haven't done this in so long. So, yeah, floppy disk. And here's the power button, which you could actually push. You can kind of see that. And it springs back. Oh, just saying the spring, I put a spring in there. Yeah, an old pen spring, and it's not even attached to anything on the inside. Oops. I mean, it doesn't always do that. I just messing up right now. In fact, man, it usually goes all the way in. I'm screwing up. Come on. Ah, there we go. Yeah, it's not, it's okay, but yeah, it's been a while since I messed with this stuff. Here's the keyboard input, which hasn't moved since my previous video of this thing. So, that's the keyboard input. Mouse input hooks up to the keyboard like a Mac. Just saying a Mac. Yeah, this bad boy's still in use. That's the iMac G5 number 2. Anyway, so yeah, there's the mouse input. So I'll probably start moving some of this stuff out the way, just so I could have more filming space. Here's the screwdriver. Wow, this is definitely different from what I remember. The tip used to be smaller, and it has a little area for the high voltage hookup probe. Get the gun out the way. I haven't shot you in about 2 years. Oh man, dang. The gun killed itself. Anyway, get this out of the way. So, yeah, so when you put in a floppy disk, you might remember you actually had to pull out to get the floppy disk back out. That was like my signature thing. But I found a system where you could actually put the disk in, and you see that little thingy moved up a little bit. So then if you, let me get my big hand out the way, if you press it, it comes out. And this was like a dream come true because I've always wanted to do this ever since I made the Lego Floppy Drive in 2012. And I was never able to. But I'll explain how that works in a second. But yeah, pretty much put it in, take it out. So that's pretty awesome. Right here you can see the Lego hard drive. I don't even remember the last time I've even seen it in person myself, because like I said, I haven't opened this thing. So yeah, let me pause real quick. So here's the back. I just spun it around. God, I just can't get over this dust. It's like a ruin that's not destroyed. Here's the power supply. You can see that. Video input, the plugs, which of course all the prongs are broken. I just reattached before I started filming. Here's the antenna, which, oh boy, yeah, hold up. Boy, this thing has seen some better days. I had to reattach that. But, yeah. Now, let's take this thing down. I haven't done one of these videos with one hand since 2012. This hasn't been unplugged in ages. Here's a little switch. That's for on. That's for off. I actually had to review my old videos to even remember what half of this stuff was. I mean, it's not like I completely just stopped liking it, but, you know, when you don't use something, you lose it. So I can't remember what some of this stuff originally was. So, yeah, here's plugs, which I got for my train sets and never used. So, now we're going to open the Lego CRT television/monitor, and this is going to be interesting. So, let's see. Okay, we have it on its face. You can see the little adjuster controls down there. I guess I never got rid of those. We're going to try this with one hand, but this is going to be a pain. If there was something I could hold this camera up with. I'm so used to filming with a laptop webcam. Man, it's not going to work. Well, let me see what I can do. Hold on. Okay, so I had to pop it open a little bit, and now let's see if we can just pull it off. I know that's exactly how you don't open it. Oh, there we go. Boy, isn't that refreshing to see the interior of this thing. And if you remember my previous video, this flyback transformer was boxed up, but I do remember changing that because I didn't like that big box design. So here's the inside. You've got the anode hookup, the flyback transformer, the speaker, VHF, UHF, deflection yoke, CRT neck board, which looks a lot more intricate than I remember. This is the color tuning pots for RGB, and I don't even think that was my previous video. Got a few electronic components on there. There's the circuit board buried under there, and I guess we might as well do the traditional discharge the CRT. Okay, so we got this quote-unquote video connector converted, and this is my ground point. I'm trying to do this with one hand. It's not that easy for some reason. So here we go, and if we could just move that to the other side. It just slips out. This thing has not been probably hooked up in there correctly in a while. There's the anode connection, which that has not changed. It's like that so it could actually fit in there. Let's see, just a second ago, the neck was about to fall off. So yeah. So here is the interior. Let's take off the CRT neck board. Wow, I did it with one hand. Cool. And I think these were not supposed to stay on. I don't remember that being a thing. Okay, so here's the CRT neck board. I have not seen this in person in, like I said, maybe about 2 years. Yeah. So we're just going to slide out the entire circuit board, which I do remember this part of the design. Because in my older designs, it was actually connected to, like, parts. Whereas this just slides out, as you see. And I have this just fitting down there. I like this design. And see, I really made a lot of intricate stuff on here the last time I was messing with this. Here's the power input, which actually does not see this cable, but I pretend that it does. It's close, but it's not like the old designs where it actually did hook up to this. So here's the flyback transformer. I think, yeah, I was talking about wanting to make the flyback section more separate from the main board, which is kind of cool. I like that, and I kept that from my last design. So, yeah, capacitors, transistors, diodes, resistors, transformers, you know, all that good stuff. Yeah, I said that in my last video. Good Lord. I haven't changed that much. But, yeah, so that's the interior of that. I'll even take off the deflection yoke for you, if I could do it with one hand without breaking the entire thing. I did it. So, yeah, here's the CRT tube. And I guess we might as well just take that out the case. I might as well just show everything. This is going to be a Lego computer extravaganza. So here we go. Unlike most sets, it comes out the opposite way, because I've actually removed tubes from real TVs before, back in my collection days, which are long gone. Here is the case, or chassis case, whatever you want to call it. Here's the controls again, which I forgot to take this off when it was together, so you could actually access them, which they're not hooked up to anything, they're just there, just for the looks. So yeah, here's the tube. Still the same. Still the same. I remember the first time I made this tube, it didn't even have a deflection yoke on my original model back in, I think it was probably like April 2012 in my 5th revision. I used to have pictures of that kind of stuff, but that was on my old phone, and that phone is long gone, unfortunately. I lost it, but I remember some of this. Like, I remember mostly the old stuff, not like the most recent stuff that I was filming, and this antenna just fell off. So, yeah, we'll get to the computer now. So, here's the computer. We're going to try to open this with one hand. Okay. It's not going so well. Then again, it hasn't been opened in 2 years. Okay, we'll come back. I guess that's never improved. Well, looks like the interior is different a little bit from my last video, but I do remember it looking like this. So this is actually the floppy drive reader, which was not in my previous film, and it does slide back and forth, and if you hold this thing upside down, it can fall out. I replaced the CPU fan with just that, because you know why? Because the floppy drive uses that little spin mechanism that used to be on there. Here is the hard drive. You can see a little spring in there, I hope. I can't turn on the light on this thing when I'm filming, unfortunately. Yeah, there's the video input. The circuit board's pretty full with all this stuff. Here's the power supply. It's kind of small compared to like my older models, I believe. And we can take out the hard drive, I guess. I don't even remember how to take this thing out because it was different in my last video. Oh, like this. My goodness. This thing hasn't seen the light of day in 2 years. Because my last revision, I believe it was more like a slide kind of thing. And it still has a little slidey stuff, but it's not like before where, you know, you take it out differently. We're just going to take this power button out. So here's the hard drive. And it has little feet, which one of them came off. Let's see if we can put that back on. There we go. Yeah, it's a nice little hard drive. It looks a lot better than my last video where this kind of thing was a little awkward looking. So, yeah, and at the time I was a big fan of hard drives. I still am, but I just can't, you know, have a whole bunch anymore. So here's the quote-unquote power input, and then the, I guess the IDE, where the IDE cable would go, but, you know, I don't have room for that in there. And you could open it. If we can open it with one hand, which I haven't done in ages. Well, unfortunately I do that off camera, but yeah, the case just pops off and pops back on. So like this. And it looks like the interior hasn't really changed. Here's the actuator arm, which back then I called acculator arm because I didn't know it was called actuator for some reason. So that's the actuator arm. It has actually this one doesn't have a little stud at the end for the heads, but you could just pretend that it's there. And yeah, this thing is still pretty precise. If I could keep it from sliding around. It's not like the old days where it would just flop from one end to the other. And the disc does still spin around. I don't remember how well. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yep. Has a little light for when it's actuating. And yeah, that's about it for the hard drive. I could take it apart more, but I just wanted to show you the inside of that. That's all. So we'll just pop that back in. There you go. Yeah, that's about it for that. And there we go. Now for the floppy drive. This is the most important part of the update. So here is the floppy drive, and I'll put in a floppy disk, and let's see if you can figure out how this thing works. Man, doing this with one hand. Okay, so we're putting in the floppy disk, and as you see up here, this is the ejection over here, and it looks like this yellow part is covering, it's holding down this arm, which moves this little spin piece right here. So then, under here is pretty much where the button connects to the spin area. Man, I really don't know how I came up with this, but it worked. That's the thing, it worked. So if you press it, there you go. And I did not speed up anything. Nothing is edited for that. It's legit. So here's a little spin area. It's been a long time since I've worked with this, so if I take it apart, there are chances I might not remember how to put it back. By the way, there's the RAM back there, and the CPU, of course. And actually, this CPU heatsink, I'm getting off track, but this CPU heatsink is pretty big, because the CPU is buried, and I just removed the entire socket, and I broke some of it. Good Lord. Well, anyway, yeah, you get the idea about that. But yeah, here's the reader, and this area goes over this black part pretty perfectly, so that's pretty cool in my opinion. Get that back in there, and look at that, covers it perfectly, so it's as if it's actually reading it. Insert floppy drive noise here. So let me see if you can get a good shot, get a good glimpse. So from the looks of it, there's a long piece, well, this is connected to a piece connected to another piece. There's a long piece that goes all the way through here, and it's hooked up to a bigger piece, like this kind of gauge, with that on top. And that pushes this little piece right here, and that pushes this. And this is to hold this down, because I remember in the past, if this was not here, this would fly off. And also, this thing needs maintenance, because if you do it off and on, off and on, off and on so many times, it will actually break, and then you got to put it back on. I don't think I've ever shot a disc out completely, because this is pretty, there's a lot of friction right here. And I can't remember if you could still take out the floppy drive. Might as well find out. So, I guess there's this, take this off first, and then take this off. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it still comes off. Wow. And there's the slidey stuff. So, yeah, it still comes out. Maybe we can see if we can get a better glimpse at that. So, let's put a drive in, or disc in, put a drive in. Wow. If we could, there we go. It's not going to be that yes, that's a little, anyway. Oh, no. Okay, so I guess this is permanently connected inside. Okay, and this is already breaking off. Yeah, you can see where that is. So, yeah, it's a pretty interesting and intricate design, and I have not changed this in two years, so, and I believe I implemented this around February 2014, but it's been a long time. So there you have it. Lego computer still exists, abandoned, but yeah. Oh, excuse all those coins. So thanks for watching. I'll probably edit in some other stuff, but yeah, other than that, thanks for watching.